All right, this is the one. And I'm gonna start it by saying how I actually feel, because I could play that game right now. I could make it disappear and come back unrecognizable in 2026 video and get the views. I know the formula, I know what people wanna hear, I know the edits, I know the cadence. Wake up at 5 a.m., cold plunge, gym, read 10 pages, delete Instagram, lock the in, grind, discipline. And look, none of that's wrong. You can see all the other gurus put that up. It's not the truth for why people actually change. Most of that advice is like putting a new outfit on the same nervous system. It's a fresh coat of paint on the same cracked foundation. And I'm not doing that, because the real reason people don't transform isn't because they don't know what to do, it's because they're addicted to who they've been. They're loyal to their old identity like it's a marriage contract. They keep trying to evolve without killing the version of them that's built to stay the same. And that's why your real blueprint for coming back unrecognizable, for actually changing, for actually stepping out of that matrix that is the same regurgitated whatever, it isn't self-help, it's Fight Club. You're the narrator and you need to become Tyler Durden. You need to understand what that movie is actually saying. It's the most accurate transformation manual ever put on screen, and it's something I've embodied in my own life. It's something I've seen other successful people embody. Fight Club tells the truth that nobody wants to hear.
Self-improvement is masturbation. Self-destruction.
Self-help is masturbation. It feels productive. It feels like progress. But most people are just stimulating themselves with ideas instead of becoming someone new. And the second line, it might be a little bit darker, but it's even more real. Sometimes the path to rebirth looks like self-destruction. I'm talking literal identity death, which of course also equals ego death. You're destroying the comforts, the habits, the relationships, and all of the stories that keep you weak, because you can't glow up in the same condition that made you dim. So if you want to disappear and come back different this year, cool. You're not disappearing from Instagram, you're disappearing from the person you've been. And Fight Club is the model here. I need to walk you through what's actually happening in that movie, because the narrator is providing you a step-by-step playbook to actually change your life. Part 1, it starts out by identifying the real villain is actually modern life. Fight Club starts with a man who has everything he's supposed to want. He's got a job, an apartment, nice stuff, respectable life, respectable job, but he's dead inside. He can't sleep, he's anxious, he's numb. And he doesn't even know why, because on paper, he's like winning. That is 2025, and that's most of you watching me right now. You're not starving, you're not in war, you're not in a jungle, but you're in a kind of quieter prison. Notifications, bills, social comparison, dopamine addiction, a job that you don't respect, a body you're not proud of, a mind that won't shut the f up, and the scariest part is you've normalized it. You think it's just adulting. No, that's not adulthood, that's domestication. The movie is basically saying this society is designed to make you a consumer first and a human second, if at all.
You're consumers. We are byproducts of a lifestyle obsession.
And when you live that long enough, you start to confuse comfort with safety. But comfort isn't safety, comfort is sedation. Comfort is the reason you keep waking up the same person. So the first step of the transformation isn't motivation, it's f***ing disgust. You need to become so disgusted with the version of you that keeps choosing easy over true. This isn't self-hatred. Self-hatred is weak. It's indulgent, it's dramatic. It's still centered on you. I'm talking about a calm, surgical disgust. Like, yeah, this isn't the life I'm here to live. So that brings me to the next point. Why self-help fails most people. Let's be honest, a lot of self-help content is just entertainment for people who want to feel like they're improving without facing the discomfort of change. It's a dopamine hit. You watch the video, you feel seen, you get inspired, you do nothing, and then you repeat it tomorrow. That's why the narrator labels it masturbation, because it's stimulation with no creation. And the algorithm loves it because it keeps you a consumer. Self-help is not the enemy, but self-help addiction is. If you watch 300 videos about discipline and you still can't do the basics, you don't need another tip, you need life detonation. Which brings us to the first real step of Fight Club. Step 1, blow up your apartment. No, don't literally do that. And like, legal disclaimer, I didn't tell you to do that. But in the movie, the narrator, he doesn't even know it's him. He thinks it's like Tyler or whatever. His apartment blows up. This is like the first step. In this phase, he lost the environment that was feeding his old identity. He had this picture perfect little consumer nest with all the IKEA furniture and like this curated life. And then it's gone. And he has to go live with Tyler in truly god-awful rough conditions, but that's not really the point. Most of you are still trying to transform while sleeping in the same bed with the same friend group. Well, not sleeping in the same bed with the same friend group, but you are in the same bed and you have the same friend group and you have the same routine, you have the same phone addiction. You do all of the same things, and we unfortunately give ourselves way too much credit as independent thinkers. We are creatures of habit, we are creatures of routine, and so we exist in the same environment, with the same people, with the same stimuli, we stay the same person. You're trying to become unrecognizable in the same environment that recognizes you perfectly, and it doesn't work. You don't transform in your comfort habitat. So what does exploding your place look like in 2026? It looks like choosing a disruption big enough that the old you can't survive it. Get out of your own city. Get out of your hometown. Quit your job. Blow up your relationship. Seriously, she's just not that good for you. Stop hanging out with people who keep resurrecting the old you. This is why people change when they move cities. Not because Miami has some magic air, but because change needs new cues. If you do nothing else after this video and you want to take it a little bit lighter, still follow my apartment explosion protocol. Purge 30% of your possessions. Clothes you don't wear, old trophies, old reminders, junk. Your space is a museum of the past. Burn the museum. 2, change your default settings. Phone grayscale, notifications off, social media apps buried. 3, create a new identity corner. A desk, a wall, a notebook, a board, a spot that only exists for your new life. Step 2 here in this entire process is for you to meet Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden is the narrator's shadow. He's everything the narrator won't allow himself to be. He's fearless, he's direct, he's unbothered, and most importantly, he's alive. And that's why Tyler feels like freedom, even if a bit psychotic. Most people need a Tyler, not a person, not a manipulative friend, not some guru. They need a mode, a version of you that shows up when normal you would fold. You already have that inside. You just don't let it drive. So if you want to come back unrecognizable in 2026, you need to design a character. Not a fake, not cringe, not delusional. A character that represents who you are when you stop negotiating with fear. You don't have to call him Tyler. Call him whatever makes you stand taller. And here's what you have to understand. Your alter ego isn't a mask, it's a permission slip. It lets you access traits you already have, but you've been socially trained to suppress. Society doesn't reward intensity. Society rewards compliance. But transformation is not compliance. Transformation is rebellion against your own programming. So ask yourself, what would I be if I didn't care what people thought? Who would I be if I stopped trying to be liked? Who would I be if I fully trusted myself? Write this person down. Give them rules. Give them a name. Give them standards. And every day in 2026, you ask yourself, what would my Tyler do today? And then you do that. Not because it's edgy, but because it's how you actually win. Step 3, choose pain on purpose. Now we get to the part that everyone misunderstands. Fight Club is not about violence. It's about controlled suffering. It's about voluntarily stepping into discomfort so life stops controlling you with it. Most people are controlled by pain because they avoid it. They avoid rejection, they avoid awkwardness, they avoid fatigue, they avoid discipline, they avoid the fucking mirror. So pain becomes the monster under the bed. But in Fight Club, they meet pain directly. They choose it. They realize the pain won't kill me, the avoidance will. And that's the real transformation. When you choose discomfort on purpose, you reclaim agency. So what's the modern legal version of Fight Club for 2026? It's not starting an underground ring. It's joining something that forces you to become better. Start boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, lift weights a little bit harder. Public speaking reps, sales reps, content reps. The point is to get yourself outside of the comfort zone continually and ongoingly, because that is what we are supposed to do as humans. Any environment where your ego gets checked and your body learns courage, because your body is a truth machine. You can lie to your brain. You can't lie to a roundhouse kick. You can't lie to a barbell. You can't lie to the clock. And when your body learns it can survive stress, your mind stops panicking at everything. That's why physical discipline creates aura, not confidence, aura. You can feel it on people. They walk like they've been through something. They talk like they can handle discomfort. That's Fight Club. It's not the punch, it's the willingness. Step 4 is find your people. Here's where Fight Club gets dark. Project Mayhem. A lot of people watch that part and miss the point. You've all heard the saying, you are the median of the people you spend the most time with. And the problem is when people start seeking acceptance, so you go out there and you try super hard to find your tribe. That's when you end up misled. But when you follow these other steps, when you pursue the self-destruction, when you blow your life up, when you do hard shit, and you focus on only that, your people will find you. And that is where Project Mayhem or whatever it might be manifests. And at that point, that is when you can do greater things. That's when you can go beyond what you previously thought possible. That's when you can continually level up. And I'm gonna wrap this up with, I guess, step 5, but it's the real free thinker moment. This is when you realize that society is the lie. Fight Club, the entire point, and the entire point for you, is ultimately about waking up. The narrator realizes he's been living a scripted life. Job, consumption, identity, loneliness, coping, repeat. And he starts to see the machine. That's the real transformation. Becoming a free thinker is not reading more opinions. It's breaking the trance. It's realizing most people live by defaults. Most people never question the script. Most people are afraid to be disliked. Most people will defend the cage because it's familiar. And if you try to transform, they will punish you. Not always directly, sometimes with jokes, sometimes with concern. I get a lot of concern from me. They'll call you intense, they'll call you obsessed, they'll call you weird. But the truth is they're not judging you. They're mourning the fact that you're leaving the tribe because your transformation threatens their comfort. So the free thinker step really is this. Stop asking people for permission to become who you are. Stop polling the group chat. Stop trying to be understood by people who aren't even able to understand themselves. This is where a lot of the 2026 glow-ups will fail, believe it or not, because so many people are indoctrinated by cultural peer pressure for no reason. That's the famous Fight Club line.
Working jobs we hate, so we buy shit we don't need.
But this is the stage where you can't do both. Transformation is a breakup. You choose comfort or you choose evolution. I'm gonna leave you with a warning. This is the part that most people don't say out loud. If you really do this, if you really become the person you're capable of, people will not clap at first. They will place you squarely in your villain arc. They will try to make you the bad guy because you stop being controllable. When you stop being predictable, insecure people panic. When you stop being available, low frequency people will call you changed. Good, you did. That's the point. But don't let that make you bitter. Bitterness is just attachment in a leather jacket. Stay loving, stay grounded. Just stop being accessible to nonsense. The real disappear of this year, it's always been internal. So yeah, it's not about going off the grid. It's about killing the version of you that needs validation, that needs comfort, that needs permission. It's about stepping into discipline so hard it feels like death, and then realizing you're still alive. Because the you that dies isn't you, it's the program. And when you come back, you don't come back louder, you come back different. People feel it, they can't name it, they just know you're not the same. And that's the goal, not motivation, metamorphosis. I want to remind you here, self-help will always feel good. Self-destruction feels scary. But the version of you that wins is built on the other side of comfort. Don't disappear to be mysterious. Disappear to build. I'll see you in 2026. Unrecognizable to everyone, including the person you used to be. This is our Project Mayhem. Let's get it.